It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Raiders and the Eagles, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
Opened back in 2003. Have a look at the link. Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago, where the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, "Fly, Eagles, fly," as they get ready to match up with Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they enter play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it...
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be fielded inside the 5. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it. To throw on 2nd and 10. Carr. That's complete to John Ross. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Good job, D. That's right.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. The hat trick +1. 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there, no. It appears they're going to mark him short of the first. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. So here are the Eagles now backed up to start their first drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. The numbers for Sanders last week, 25 carries, 83 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Had a nice move but couldn't free much space. So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Raiders pick it up. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. There he goes left side. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return. And an Eagle touchdown.
As with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Well, the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn? So that one overturned. They say the knee was down.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Mecole Hardman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC.
And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Well, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got it for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
Now a throw here to his running back, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. To throw on 3rd down, Wallace. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders heading out to take over. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
From the 38, Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, this defense for the Raiders, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions. And
this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
From the 6. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr, throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Here's Carr to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Bring it out.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now, Carr again. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Eagles have recovered. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
You know I love football. You know I love the game.
I hope so.
But nighttime in December, you know I'm wearing multiple coats. So I just wonder about the guys on the field with all the great gear that they have. Do they have enough on, or do they have too much on? Because sometimes that can affect you trying to carry the ball.
7-7, our score after one. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Off the play fake, Wallace. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Throwing on 1st down, Wallace. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
On 3rd down, Wallace. Left side here to Sanders. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The kick by Bass is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defense is awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. 2nd quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, they'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Carr. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Chris Barnes in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs now leads to a 3rd and long.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to make a big-time play.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a second straight loss. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. From the gun, Wallace. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, it's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Looking to throw on second down. Wallace. It's caught by Sanders. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 35-yard line. Looking to throw. Wallace. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 1st and 10, Wallace. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. 7 yards, the pickup there. Again, he'll drop to throw. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There are so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
Pass on for the extra point.
It's good to make it 17-7. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr.
Swinging this out for Pollard.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To throw is Carr. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
On 1st down, Wallace slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
To throw again, Wallace. He completes it to Nelson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the gun on 3rd down, Wallace. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, where you see the final score there. Trevor Lawrence, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. Next, we'll take the trip north to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Tennessee Titans. A.J. Brown, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. And lastly, Monday Night Football has a good one lined up between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. On now to a check on the next-gen stats in the first half for the Raiders. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter.
Now they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
To throw on second down, Wallace. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack.
Yetur Gross-Matos
able to record his 5th sack of the season.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Looking to throw on second down. Wallace. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
From the gun on third down, Wallace. And he finds McLaurin. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another first down.
Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 34. Operating from the gun, Wallace.
And yet again, it's McLaurin.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. As Sanders has it poked free, and the Raiders pick it up. He's at the 50, and he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the booth. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd and 12, Carr.
He'll get this underneath to Jacobs.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Well, should take it on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Well, the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Open man has got it, the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Wallace. And the Raiders have got him. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate, Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Looking to throw. Wallace. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. To throw on third down. Wallace. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route. Had plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
On first down, it's Sanders. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. To throw on second down, Wallace. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Max Crosby in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Back to throw. Wallace.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
They certainly had a good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting through.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw into the hands here of Hardman.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run with Pollard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Carr's throw there into the hands of Ross. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Throwing now is Carr. There's the stiff arm. And now running right through it. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 31-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Carr. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
After the sack on 1st down, Carr. That's caught left side by Hardman. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
This pass going to be caught by Hardman.
And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Carr now on 3rd and goal. Able to shake him off. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you figure the field goal team coming on 4th. Now Carr, got to have this one. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Sanders. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taking it about the 16. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing to start the drive. Carr taking a deep shot here for Hardman.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Carr now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. And how about this starting field position? 1st and goal from 2 yards out. Look at this, a tight end carry. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Sanders.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Eagles are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. On 2nd and inches, Carr. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Carr going to go on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They'll run on 1st down. Sanders. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll go again with Sanders. Fighting through. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
63 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Philadelphia, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year.
And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.